Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we have got a few news stories to get through in the world of tech and gaming, so let's not waste any time and get fired right into the tech stories first, starting off with AMD, who have made an official press release and announcing their intentions for what will be revealed at Computex 2019, which is at just the end of May, so we don't have that much longer to go now until we get to find out AMD's plans, and we also have a good idea now of what they're going to be talking about. So in this official press release, they made a few announcements of what they're going to be revealing, things like 7nm EPYC data center processors, 3rd gen AMD Ryzen, which I think we all expected to see, and also talking about the next generation Navi architecture, so their 7nm GPU, which a lot of people think is going to be geared more towards the mid-range, and I don't think there's anything really here that we didn't know already. Although hearing that this keynote, it's going to be taking place on May 27th, and we're not going to hear about Ryzen 3rd gen until that date. So conceivably, we won't see Ryzen 3rd gen until June at the very earliest, unless they push one out before May 27th. But I don't really see that happening if they're giving a big keynote about Ryzen 3rd gen processors at Computex. It'd be a bit of a waste if it was already out. So yeah, so for people that I guess have been waiting for 3rd gen Ryzen, I guess you're going to have to continue waiting a little bit longer, as this is about 8 weeks out. So, I mean, that's really like the earliest possibility we could see these processors, and it would very likely probably come in the weeks after Computex, maybe 4 to 6 weeks possibly, even after the event has concluded. Now let me close my Skype so that we can continue on to the next story without you guys having to hear it chirping in the background. Next up is just a quick update on the story that I covered yesterday. I said that I had vetted the story pretty well, but with it being April 1st, you never really know. But now it has been officially confirmed that Tom Peterson, the engineer from NVIDIA, not only just an engineer, but the distinguished engineer from NVIDIA, had left the company yesterday after he had updated his LinkedIn profile saying he was no longer at NVIDIA. And now Intel Graphics actually tweeted out and said that they were excited and thrilled to have Tom Peterson joining them on the GPU team there over at Intel. So the story yesterday, which was partly rumored of him going over to Intel, is now 100% confirmed. He is going to be joining the team over there and working on the XE lineup of GPUs, which we are expected to see coming out in 2020. So, as I said yesterday, the team over there is shaping up to be really good, as they have picked up some pretty high value targets, I should say. People like Tom Peterson and Raja Kaduri. I mean, you're basically looking at like the two main people behind GPUs over the last like 4 to 5 years, from the green team as well as the red team. So the amount of knowledge that they have that they can bring into that space and kind of bring together is going to be pretty interesting. And I don't think XE is going to come out, day one and probably be beating the highest end NVIDIA card, whatever it happens to be at the time that it's revealed. But, I think in the years following, it's going to just get even better over time as they start working on new architectures together, because this is only a year away. So I don't know how long they've really been working on these GPUs, but I would be very impressed if I would be not only impressed, but completely surprised if they came out and were instantly putting out the most powerful GPU on the market. But we'll just have to wait and see, and we won't know until the year 2020, unfortunately. Moving on from tech, we have a few gaming stories to go through. The first is concerning Borderlands 3, which had been, yesterday there were, being that it was April 1st, people were taking obviously a lot of news stories with a grain of salt, but there was a supposed leak about Borderlands 3 saying that it was going to be coming out in September, and that it was going to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store. I know, another game exclusive to the Epic Game Store, and we did get a response, kind of a non-committal response really, from Randy Pitchford, who's like the head guy over there at Gearbox, who developed the Borderlands 3 games. Easily one of my least favorite people in the entire gaming industry, because he's just a complete liar in most instances. And his non-committal response on this was over the series of a few tweets where he talked about whether or not the game would be exclusive to the Epic Game Store, which he basically says that it's not his decision, it's not Gearbox's decision. At the end of the day, it lands on 2K and Take-Two, who are the publishing companies behind Borderlands 3 and basically paying for this game to be put out. So this is what Randy Pitchford had to say in his series of tweets. He said, Take-Two has exclusive publishing rights for Borderlands 3 and makes all decisions regarding price points, territories, distribution, and platform partnerships. Please direct all inquiries regarding any of those topics to 2K. We are just the talent, basically saying talk to 2K, the publisher. We're just the people actually making the game. We don't get to make these decisions on where the game is sold. He went on to say further that as a customer, I'm happy to shop in different stores, so basically saying that he welcomes it being on the Epic Store, and he already does. He says he's bought games from Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, Steam, Origin, GOG, Humble Bundle, Uplay, Epic, and other stores, and to him, the exclusives are fine when they come with advantages and when they are short, like for 6 months, for instance, which I just think he's honestly trying to already apologize for this unofficial news already. And yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like, his PR spin before it's even been confirmed. And from there, he goes on to say, for what it's worth, 2K's decision aside, myself and the team at Gearbox have a very keen interest in cross-platform play, and we believe multi-platform support is a prerequisite, and Epic's leadership with cross-platform support is helpful to our interests there. So basically what he's saying is Epic has a history of supporting cross-platform play, which Steam really does not as much, and with the Epic Game Store already supporting it with games like Fortnite, and they want to have cross-platform play in Borderlands 3, which I do think is a good thing. That'd be awesome just to open up the player pool if you're planning on playing with randoms, being able to play with people on the consoles as well, especially in something like this, where it's a PvE, player versus experience type thing, and you're not really, or player versus, not experience, player versus environment. You're not competing against other players. It's not a competition, so it's not going to really matter whether you're using a mouse and keyboard or a controller or whatever. So I do think cross-platform play is a good idea. I just still don't really like the idea of it being an Epic exclusive. If that's the only reason and they cannot get the cross-platform play supported on Steam, then I guess that's at least a good excuse for it, if other than money. If that's, they could have that motivation as well, because they do get a bigger slice of the pie if they release it on the Epic Game Store, and this could just be an excuse for that, trying to justify it through other means. So we'll just have to wait and see. As you know, this is still just a rumor. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but we did get this response from Randy Pitchford, but based on what he said, it kind of sounds like it's heading towards that direction, where Borderlands 3 will be exclusive to the Epic Game Store, which is just kind of sad to see because it still lacks basic functionality. I mean, they released a roadmap of updates they're going to bring to the Epic Game Store, and we are looking at more than a 6-month wait just for them to add a shopping cart. That's right, the Epic Game Store doesn't even have a shopping cart yet. And it's going to be more than 6 months. You can conceivably meet a girl tomorrow, get her pregnant, and have a baby before the Epic Game Store implements a shopping cart. Think about that. Next up, we've got the Master Chief Collection. We got a tweet yesterday from Brian Gerard, who is the community director over at 343 Industries, and he said, "Happy April. If all goes according to plan, this is the month we start the first Halo Reach Master Chief Collection flight test." The flight test they're talking about, something I talked about in a previous video. Basically, the flight tests are the beta for the Master Chief Collection, and with Halo Reach coming out before the other Halo titles on the PC, this is basically confirming that it should be coming out this month in April. We knew that it was going to be coming pretty soon based on some previous information they said, and according to Brian Gerard from 343, if no issues crop up, then we should be seeing the beta starting this month. If you haven't registered for it yet, I will leave a link down in the description below if they're still taking registrations, but it's over on the Halo Insider website, so if you still have not registered for the flight test, then go ahead and do that now. As I said, I'll put a link down below in the description. And last but certainly not least, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is getting a new map. I think it's coming out today. This was published yesterday, and it says it's coming out tomorrow, so I guess that would be today. And this is an Alcatraz map, which is going to be exclusive for the Blackout mode, which is their version of Battle Royale, which in and of itself isn't really that exciting. It's a new map, although it's Alcatraz, which is pretty cool. But also, Blackout is going to be free for the entire month of April, starting today up until the 30th. So that's awesome to see. If you have not played Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and you want to try out the Battle Royale mode, which unfortunately is hidden behind the $60 paywall of owning Call of Duty Black Ops 4, then this is your month to try it out. And I don't know if they're going to make this, they just might make the Battle Royale mode eventually free for everyone and make it a free-to-play experience, which would kind of be hurtful for anyone that spends $60 on the base game just to get Blackout, and then they make it free for everyone at the end of the day. But that's something that could very realistically happen. This could not only just be, them trying to be nice and trying to bring in new players, it could them just kind of testing the waters here and seeing, how many people come over and try it, that it's free, and see how much their player counts improve. And they might just try to make the whole Battle Royale free to play in the future. It's a very strong possibility. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Please, as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below on all of the news stories we covered here today. What are you most excited to see at Computex from AMD? Are you looking forward most to Ryzen 3rd Gen or Navi? I know for me personally, I want all of those juicy details on Ryzen 3rd Gen, and hopefully maybe Threadripper as well would also be good to get some news on that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Computex at the end of the month. Or the end of next month, I should say. I am not planning to attend Computex this year. I'm just, honestly, like, that flight just seems really daunting to me. Like a 20-hour flight all the way to China, or Taiwan, I should say. It seems rather daunting. I'm not saying I'll never go, but I don't think I'm going to be going this year. Maybe in the future, though. We'll have to see what happens. But I'll definitely be covering the news that's coming out of Computex during that week. So make sure that you are subscribed for that content. And if you've been here for a while, ring the notification bell. That way you don't miss a moment of content when it goes up on the channel. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another video. Ta-ra for now.